So here we have all of our lovely villains on TTS. I choose to do it on TTS. Other people choose to make a slideshow, but here I can actually show you all of my lovely villains. So I'm going to rank them least favorite all the way up to my favorite. My list has kind of changed a little bit since the last time I've told everyone. My favorite was Yzma, and my least favorite was, I believe, Mother Gothel. That's kind of stayed the same, so here we go. We're going to start with the bottom, Mother Gothel. For those of you that don't know me, I am not a fan of Gothel. So with Gothel, you have your objective. You have to start your turn with at least 10 trust. Sounds easy enough. Flip over everything. You have cards such as the crown, the hairbrush, let down your hair, misdirection, the knife, and I love you most, that can help you gain such trust. Don't want them in my hand. Thank you. So, at the end of every turn, you move Rapunzel one step towards Corona. If she gets to Corona and you can't move her, well, you lose that trust. You lose one trust, and you have to have 10 of them. 10 of these pretty little suckers. I can never get past, like, 3. For me, even though she does have ways such as let down your hair, Once Upon a Dream, not Once Upon a Dream, What Once Was Mine, excuse me, allows you to pull out of the deck. You have the riders that can vanquish here and adjacently. You have the Stabbingtons who can move her back to her tower if they're played right. You have a Royal Guard. If you move them, they can move a hero. Most people choose to move Rapunzel with that. You got quite a few Royal Guards. Revenge. I forgot that was a card to gain trust. You see where I did go. Revenge allows you to perform a vanquish action, meaning you have to have the ally. So if I had Ulf here, move my cards, and I say I had a Royal Guard, I could play Revenge, kill Ulf using the Royal Guard, and gain a trust from that. She is my least favorite, for those of you that don't already know that, because I just feel like she just doesn't have... You have to be like 4 steps ahead. For those of you that have played Gothel, understand. You always have to be 4 steps ahead. You have to have an idea of what could be coming out of the discard pile or the fate pile. If you're going to pull stuff out of the discard pile, you better do so. I feel like she has quite a bit of cards, such as King and Queen. Pascal's kind of irritating. Flynn, Floating Lights, and Everyone Has a Dream and Aging. That just take anything you have, whether it's to build trust with Aging, moving her to Corona with the Floating Lights, and then you can't move her away, so you're losing all that trust while you're sitting there. Everyone Has a Dream, Flynn Rider, King and Queen, and Pascal is just a pain in the butt, because if they play him at the tower here, a lot of your cards, such as I Love You Most and Let Down Your Hair, if she's at the tower, can gain you trust, but, you know, if Pascal's there, you're kind of pretty much set in your ways. You can hear my cat crying in the background. So, that is my opinion. All of this is opinion-based. If you love Mother Gothel, I give you credit for being able to be 5 steps ahead, but for me, she is bottom tier. Alright, let's move on to my next one. So you have Mother Gothel at number 18. I believe there are 18 villains. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, yep, 18. Haha. So Mother Gothel is at 18. My next least favorite, for those of you that don't know, yeah, I wish I could get 5 trust in 1 turn, Ben. I wish I could. I can barely get past 3. So at number 17, I have Pete. And for those of you that don't know, I just loathe him entirely. So Pete has these goals. His objective is complete the 4 selected goals. So you would shuffle your goals up, you would pick 4 of them, you could get power play, so you have to spend at least 6 power in 1 turn while Pete is at location. Rule the realm, start your turn with more heroes and allies. Win big, gain 4 power from play a game. And strike it rich, start your turn with at least 3 items at this location. And then round up, start your turn with allies totaling 10 or more strike. You think that would be easy. You think. It is not. It is not that easy. I give all you Pete players, Butter King, Lark, Cortosis, I give you all props for being Pete players because it just hurts my brain. I have to just think 500 steps in advance, and to me that is just like not my thing. I've gotten better with him. He's still on my bottom. Look at all those bandits and then airstrike. So most people, when they go to power play, they play the bandits because the bandits, you can pay the cost and then play as many as you want. So if you want to play 3, it would be 6 power. That's what they do. I usually try and go for the jalopy or the jalopy. Go here, I would pay 3 for this, move this over, and then spend 2 on bandits, so then I get this power play. Because I spent 7. However, that has not been in my favor. So each location has an item that you can play to it. You have stolen cargo that goes to the airport. You have the jalopy that goes to the service station, Steamboat Willie that goes to Podok, and Bank Loot that goes to Frontier. So that's why you would start where you would strike it rich. Most people, I think, play this one, and either one of these gain 1 powers that they get in their hand. I usually attempt is the keyword, to get like jalopy. I like Steamboat Willie, but when Minnie comes out, you are just doomed because most people go right for the jalopy to discard it because she discards an item or ally in the realm. Mickey's just a pain in the butt. Poor Cortosis last stream had Mickey twice. He vanquished Mickey, I reshuffled a fate, and he got Mickey again. Knock Silly. So if you're preparing to win big with play a game, Knock Silly will just screw that all up. I think it gives you more credit than anything else. What was funny? What was funny? What was funny? You have Pluto and Horse that move items. You have Hides that discard bandits, and Goofy, all your hard work to put all those 3 items here will just come in and just move everything around because he can move objective goals. Yes, that is true. So if you have Donald and you have Mickey out, you have to defeat Donald before you can defeat Mickey. Clarabella to see an objective goal, any one of them. I just think his fate deck is just entirely over-prepared, should the word be. So if you have all your allies here, you have 10 power, and say like the cricket, discard a bandit, and you know, you're just doomed. So I just think he doesn't have as much love in his deck. Yes, his villain deck is made to help him win, but his fate deck is just, to me, very gruesome. Morning, Jinx. How are you? So here we are. That is number 17. Personal opinion, again, I do not promote or say that you cannot play this one. You cannot let him be your favorite, but if he is, good for you. You're tired. I'm sorry, Jinx. But to me, he is number 17. So, going on to 16. Believe it or not, Horn King. Cortosis is going to come at me. I already know it. I have not played enough with Horn King to completely understand him. He's just there. I haven't gotten 10 yet. I'm only on 16. I'm going backwards. Least favorite to most favorite. So I have not played enough with him to completely understand or grasp the concept. He has to have a cauldron born at each location. It was 18, Mother Gothel. Just haven't played enough with him. I personally don't play him because come at me. Y'all are gonna come at me, I feel it. I don't like his movie. I don't like his movie. I feel like he has a bunch of cards in his deck that are just, unuseful. I've faded enough with him to know that his fate deck is very brutal. I wish he was a start your turn villain instead of a, spend 2 power before you move and play a Cauldron Born. And there you go. So, I'm just not a fan. I'm not even going to dig that deeply into him just because I don't know very much about him. Personally, Cortosis will have to tell you more about him. He plays him more. I just personally am not a big old darling fan of him. So, that was 16. Click and drag again. We're going to go with 15. Here's 15. Even though I won with her yesterday, she hurts my brain. I personally think she has too many cards in her deck that allow you to fate heavily. So trickery if you need 6 or more power. You have opportunists to pull back the grow giants that allow you to perform an action. Adjacent, which you can choose fate. It doesn't say you can't. I just think Ariel's the worst. Grow giant, here it is. You get 3 copies of those. She only has 2 allies. Divination kind of lets you get through your deck to pull out your Triton and your Crown. Change form. I never really understood the concept of that. I always hold on to 1. Cauldron, just a pointless card. I literally play it just to get it out of my hand. You have binding contracts. You have 1 layer. You have 2 shores. You have a palace contract. You have 1, 2 Eric ship. And Arrogance, which is a condition card that allows you to draw cards if someone defeats a hero. So, this helps you fate. This helps you fate. Change form if you play it. This lock token moves over here, and that just opens up both of your fate spots. I personally just think she is, if you're playing against her, like someone else is playing her, your fate deck's going to be reshuffled a lot. You have to play the Triton, play the Crown, which are both, by the way, 4 cost cards on top of the binding contract with Triton is 3, not 2. Excuse me. But I guess This one's pretty cool. It allows you to kind of open up your fate spots, move heroes around. I like to stack my heroes here at Eric's ship because I just like to discard and fate there. I really don't honestly play very much. I like to keep the lock token over here as much as possible. It's just, I don't think her fate deck is very bad, honestly. Yes, you give trying with Snarblood. I don't think her fate deck is very brutal until you get to Flounder. She will shuffle all the cards you've been discarding to try and find these two things and make you just gotta keep going. Eric isn't bad. Dinglehopper, not too bad. Ariel's just a pain in my butt. She moves unattached items, and then you can't perform the move an ally or item action. So this action is just pointless. Snarfblat's on Triton, like Ben was saying. Just, you better hope you can build power. So for the most part, most of my turns, I'm going here and gaining power and discarding and fading if I can. So I just think she is overall, I think she's fun to play personally as a person. Playing against is why she's lower on the Titan pool, because she can just fate like crazy. Boop, boop. That was 15. Alright, 14. Cruella has moved up in the list, guys. She was down there with Mother Gothel and Pete, but she has moved up on the list. Alright. So, Cruella de Vil. By the way, highly recommend the new movie. Definitely a good thing. So, with Cruella, you have to start your turn with at least 99 capture puppies. These are your puppy tokens. You have 3 Radcliffe House, 3 Hell Hall, 3 Milk Farm, and 3 Countryside. You at least get a 22 at each location. Yeah, I spent the $30 on Cruella. I usually don't, but I did. So you have most of her deck is effect cards. If you look, effect, 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 effect. Oh, here's an item. But look, effect. Oh, there's another item. Jasper. Effect. Effect. Like I was saying, literally most of her deck is effect cards. You have to try and pull those puppy tokens out, whether it be with Cure Puppies, Jasper, not Jasper, woo, Horus. Horus is the word. The flashlight, you get 2 of those. Apparently I want to hold on to them. You get 2 fireplace pokers because you only get 2 allies. These help you defeat heroes without discarding your allies. Devilish, you get Cruel to help bring out puppies. But if you look, how many effect cards do we have? 9. $9. 9 of these effects. 9 effects. 2 allies. 4 conditions technically, but 2 of the same. And 4 items. Most people play the telephone, discard Jasper, activate the telephone to play Jasper for free. Oh, but let's look at Cruella's Fate deck. This pulls out puppies that you put on your board. This helps bring out Pongo or Pradina from the discard pile. This moves tokens. So if you're setting up to pull out tokens, oh, well, he's going to move them. This discards your fireplace pokers or your flashlight. He prevents you from capturing puppies at his location. Perdita takes captured puppies and puts it at her location. Nanny you gotta pay an extra power to activate. She's not too bad. But these prevent capturing puppies. This will move Pongo. This moves your ally. So if you're setting up to capture, oh, here comes Captain. He's going to just ruin that for you. And this puts them back in the supply wherever they're at. So if they're at their house, well, you don't get the house tokens pretty much. I just think the main thing is pulling out these puppy tokens as fast as you can. Most people go back and forth. She is a heavy fader. You kind of have to be. She's moved up. I've gotten better with her, hence why she moved up. But I just think that I wish she had more, like, whatever it takes. I don't ever play that. Don't ever play it. Once in a while, but don't ever play it. I think that's a pointless card. I wish she had more of the bought and paid fors, honestly. But Spotted, pointless card, I think. Most people play it. Sometimes I play it, but I think it's pointless. But yeah. That is why she sits a little higher, but not that high. Okay, going on. So, we've done Mother Gothel. She's gone. Pete's gone. Ursula's gone. Horn King's gone. Cruella's gone. Who thinks is next? What do y'all think? What do you think is next? You're right, Ben. Gaston. He sits a little higher. For those of you that don't know, I hate the way they made him look. I just think that he looks too cartoony to me. Too, boxed faced. So, with Gaston, you have to remove all 8 of these obstacles. But, I mean, you have low power cost cards. But most of the ones that require you to move obstacles are expensive. Like, he may cost 1 power to play, but he's 2 power to activate. Oh, you want to defeat a hero? 3 power. I don't understand why he has to be so expensive. Like this card is 5 power to remove 3 obstacles. The attached item is 4 power. This one to remove obstacles is 3 power. I just think he's too costly. And for the most part, you're gaining power, but there's no gain 3 power anywhere. If you want to gain 3 power, you have to replace an obstacle, and then you can gain 3 power. Oh, and if anybody performs 4 or more actions, which everyone does, I think, he gets to remove obstacles. And he has 3 of these. So if he has 3 obstacles left, and you do 4 or more actions, bam, beautiful as me. I wish he had more allies. I mean, you have 4 wolves, but, like, his fate deck, the rose, allows you to pretty much double fate. This puts obstacles back. This puts obstacles back. This reduces your ally strength by 1. That takes obstacles off. But for the most part, his fate deck is brutal if it's played right. Belle, I wish Belle had more strength, honestly. I wish she did. I wish she was like a 4 strength hero, not a 2. Beast, I thought he was going to be pretty buff. I guess 6 is fine. He moves the allies away from wherever he's at, but when he's vanquished, you get to take obstacles off. So I guess I don't understand I don't understand. I played him when the expansion came out. I've played him a couple times on TTS. But to me, I just think he's too costly. I think Belle should have been more strength. I don't understand why they're allowing you to remove obstacles when you need to vanquish heroes. To me, this like, he has 3 cards that allow you to, when they're played, to remove obstacles. Hey, Songman. Like, I just think that he needed more love and affection and less of 4, 5, 3. Like, he's too expensive. To me. Personal opinion. Again, if you love Gaston, if you think he's great, good for you. This is just my opinion. Proceeding. So we are at 12, I believe. No. Yep, 12. I was right. Sitting at number 12. Maleficent. I used to have Maleficent a lot higher on my ranking. So Maleficent's deck, I believe she's the only character that has a card that allows you not to have to move to a new location at the start of your turn. Her staff is super useful. I think the Sinister Goons are super useful. Savage Goons are so expensive, I don't think I ever play them. I always play my Raven if I can. Malice, Green Fire, Forest, and I'll go deeper into her curses here. That's why I'm putting them to the side. And these are cackling. So, Maleficent has 3 curses. She has Green Fire, which heroes cannot be played to the location, but if Maleficent moves there, she has to discard the curse. Forest of Thorns, heroes have to have a strength of 4 or more, which is almost her entire Fate deck, to be played to this location, and when they do, it's discarded. And Dreamless Sleep just makes heroes -2, and the only person that can discard that is Fauna. You have 3 Green Fire, 3 Forest Thorns, and 2 Dreamless Sleeps? 2? That's it? 2? Like, 2? You couldn't give me one more Dreamless Sleep? 2? I only get 2. Vanish is useful. Staff is useful. I sometimes play the spinning wheel, not always. But let's look at her Fate deck. Let's just look. Sword of Truth buffs up heroes. Philip discards all allies at his location. Oh, and he's a 4-strength hero, mind you. Once Upon a Dream discards Curse. Merryweather is a 4-strength hero, and her curses cannot be played to her. King Stefan. Oh my gosh, I hate this guy. I'll come back to him. King Hubert, he's okay. Guards, I can get rid of them with Dragon Form. Flora, I can get rid of with Dragon Form. Fauna, I can get rid of with Dragon Form. Aurora allows you to play 2 heroes if the next card on the top of the Fate deck is a hero. But why is Merryweather the buff one? That's what I want to know. I always thought Flora was like the head honcho of the fairies. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? That's the only thing I don't like about her Fate deck. Now let's go to King Stefan here. King Stefan is the thorn in my side. I think everyone's side is you can move Maleficent to the next patient. So let's just take a look here. You have a Forest of Thorns here. You have a Green Fire here. He's a 4th-strength hero. We're going to play King Stefan into Forest of Thorns. Discard it. Oh, we get to move Maleficent. Buy Green Fire. Adios, amigo. I love playing her. I just think Flora should have been 4, and Merryweather should have been 3, personally, and their roles should have been switched. Yes, don't even get me started on that. This one, these two, I don't really care about, honestly. This one right now, I don't really care about. Oh, you can see my hand? Okay, you're gonna see my hand anyway when I play my cards. Me? Sword of Truth increases the powers by 2. Well, yeah, but, you know, Songman, you gotta make all the logical sense. So, Songman says that Merryweather is buff because he thinks it's because she defeats the Raven. I always thought Flora was like the head honcho, the leader of these little lovely 3 fairies. And, you know, I always thought she should have been the buff one, personally. Yes, you can move curses with the move action. But for the most part, I think her fate deck is doable. I wish I had one more Dreamless Sleep. That would have been great. King Stefan is a thorn in my side. Prince Philip can discard your Raven, so protect your Raven with those green fires. People, do it. Do it. I just think her fate deck is just brutal. Brutal fate deck. Brutal. So, that's why she sits a little higher, but she's number 12. Number 11. We got Hades. I love Hades. I do. I really do. Unless people overly fate and just bring out, you know, father and son duo and just put them at their normal spots, and you got like all 3 of your Titans sitting here. It's just a handful. So we got 2 Ruthlesses, 2 Rages. We got 1, 2 Planets Align. We got 3. You got Panic and Pain. I love that there's more allies. This helps you gain power because he's so expensive. You got Rumbles to move Titans. Eye of the Fates, I never play it. Chariot, you know, don't get attached to your Chariot. That's all I gotta say. Ally, reduce hero strength with Achilles heel. So you have 5 Titans. I like to play them all, if I can. Argus is usually one that's played. Pyros is usually one that's played. And Hydros. Because Hydros, if there's a hero, if he's here, say he's here, you move Zeus with Rage, and someone wants to move Zeus back, he can't because Hydros is here. Hydros prevents the moving of fate cards. That's the word. But I, on the other hand, play Stratos, Pyros, Lithos, Hydros, Argus. I just play them all. They're all very useful. Chariot, you know, don't get too attached to that because Gospel Truth will just come and take that out. Phil, I think he's pointless. I don't like Phil. I think he's just a pointless fate card. It was like one of those, oh, we need one more fate card for the deck. Here, let's put Phil in. Pegasus, you still get to use the ability of the Titan, if you so choose. Megara moves heroes around. That's why I always try to play Hydros. Medallion buffs up the heroes. Lightning Bolt traps Hermes, moves Zeus or puts him on the top of the fate deck. Hera traps Titans whether she's moved or not. And Go the Distance moves Titans up to 2 spots. Or you can move a hero. Just saying. You can do that too. I like that there's more allies. I like that you can gain power. Chariot is super useful as long as you can play it. I always keep at least 1 Planets Align and 1 Rumble in my hand as much as I can. But for the most part, I enjoy him. His fate deck is very simplistic. It's doable. I can work with it. I can work with it with what I have over here. So he's very balanced, I think, when it comes to fate deck and villain deck. He just has to get 3 Titans over to Maleficent at the start of his turn. So, good character. Don't play him a lot. But, here we are. That's why he sits at number 11. Because he's also very expensive. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Oh, and if you need to untrap your Titans, 3. So, he's just expensive. That's the only reason why he sits at number 11. Okay. Let's go. Oh, Hera just wants to hang out. Hi, Hera. Number 10. Be prepared. So, number 10 is Scar. I have gotten better at Scar. So, he's sitting a little higher. This thing needs to stop popping up. Stop that. I like his deck. He's not too expensive. He has a lot of gain power cards. If you play the cards right, you can pull up Mufasa. I love the Injustice. I like to hold on to one until the end of WinCon. Look at all these allies, though. You can move your allies around. I think he's great. People underestimate him. Yes, you have this stick can go away. I hate that stick. You have Rafiki, Prophecies, Nala, Mufasa. So for the most part, you just got to have 15 strength in the succession pile. Mufasa starts it, so you have 6 right there. I usually try and go for like Simba if I can, Nala, Sarabi. Rafiki just keeps coming out of the deck with Hakunas, and Zazu can either give them +1 strength or make them -2. So, much better. Other than the stick, for the most part, I like him. He's getting better at me. I'm figuring him out. He sits a little lower because you do have to be a couple spots ahead of where you're at, so you have to think ahead. Think about what's in your fate deck. Think about what you could pull out of your villain deck. I think he's pretty balanced for the most part. I love this card. My favorite card ever. But pretty balanced. Pretty equal. Not too bad. I think the art... It's great. I like him. He's moving up on the list. At number 11. Okay. Number 10. We have Evil Queen. I enjoy playing Evil Queen. I think her fate deck is brutal. You have cards that will let you look at her hand. You have cards to take away poison. And these dwarves give... I just think there's too many ways for Snow to buff up. So if you have all these dwarves on there, plus the pickaxes, and she's just one buff character. Highly recommend killing dwarves. Oh, but she doesn't kill with vanquish cards. There is no vanquish spot. You have to brew poison and play Take a Bite. But in order to unlock the cottage, you have to play the 4 different ingredients. Here's the Take a Bite with the poison. You get 5 copies of that. You have your ingredients. There's 2 copies of each one. You have tomes. You have the mirror to pull out snow. You just have, in the long run, I recommend always playing the Huntsman. Black magic lets you pull out ingredients. So you have 4 ingredients. You have Scream of Fright, which you choose a location and you can move any 3 strength hero to an adjacent location. Old Hag's Cackle gives you power per location that has a hero. Mummy Dust, if you're fated the turn after you play, the turn you played Mummy Dust, you get a poison. Black magic lets you perform another additional action. Definitely play the Huntsman. This will reduce buff snow over here to -1 strength. So if she's like a 7, she's now a 6. Magic Mirror pulls snow out. I think she's very balanced with Fate and Villain deck. I like the fact of brewing poison to vanquish with the Take a Bite. I just wish I had more Take a Bites and not just 5. I wish I had like 6, maybe, add an additional one, because I don't like the box, guys. Don't judge me. The box and the throne, I just feel like are just kind of there. Wishing Well, I guess I understand Wishing Well. I would have made it another Woodland Creatures, personally, but for the most part, I think she's very equal. Balance. You do do a lot of discarding and the moving of heroes around. I like to play my items here and stack my heroes at the laboratory. So, yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. That was 10. Okay. Moving on to number 9. Yes, they are. Captain Hook, what's up, Doc, is going to come at me. I like Captain Hook's villain deck. You have lots of things, lots of allies to defeat Peter. I wish they weren't so expensive. You have ways to find Peter. The only reason I don't like him is because your shuffling skills better be great. Because if Peter and your map are on the bottom and people choose not to fate you, well, you better push it to the limit. I don't like that. I don't like that. I wish this card was over here instead. I wish the Gain 2 was over here instead. I just, he hurts my brain, because once Peter comes out, people fate like crazy, and you're just pretty much in a block. Peter. Because you have to defeat Peter at the Jolly Roger, so you have to move him all the way over here. I just think he needs some love and attention, but he's just too another one of those characters you have to be a couple steps ahead. But he's moved up. I'm getting better. He's sitting at number 9. So yeah, number 9. Again, these are just personal opinions. Everyone has their own opinion on how they rank their character. Okay, next up, we have Jafar. Again, it's one of those, you gotta find everything you need, but everything you need is in your villain deck. You gotta find the Scarab Pendant, you gotta find the Magic Lamp. I just think, you know, you have to have a lot of power, because Genie has to be hypnotized. I just You do a lot of discarding, but I think he sits higher than Captain Hook because I just feel like his deck is more laid out better. His board is laid out better for him. I think Captain Hook his board needed more love. But yeah, the only thing I don't like is that there's not another gain 1 power spot. I wish that there was one for that one, but other than that, I think he's pretty balanced. Number 8. We have Dr. Facilier. I think I placed Doctor at number 8 because he is so easy to win. He can win in record time, I think. You have to find your talisman. You have to find Rule New Orleans. His fate deck isn't bad. I think he can still do everything he needs to do even with his fate deck the way it is. Excuse me. I had to dry my... But for me, I think he just sits a little lower than where he should because he's just so easy to win, personally. Yes. I think that if he required more thought process, I wouldn't have as much of a big ordeal about it, but he doesn't. You kind of just discard, play some allies, find everything you need, and call it a day. So if people are losing, should we say, their first choice is going to be Doctor, for the most part, if they want to find somebody who is easy to win as. Hold on, I'll dig into their deck in just a second. Gotta get a drink of water. Alright. He's very simplistic. Personally. Okay. Let's see. So what I was talking about with Doctor is, yes, his villain deck has Tiana, things to put cards into the fortune pile. Mama Odie only reveals 2. I think she's about the only card that's good. That and Eudora. Charlotte. This takes cards out of the fortune pile and puts it back on top. But almost there, puts cards back in. So, if you play enough allies, you have the talisman that attaches to heroes of 3 or less. You have Sleight of Hand that lets you get through your deck a lot quicker. More allies. Shadow Man. Rule New Orleans. Mass Spirits. I've won with Mass Spirits even in the fortune pile. Lawrence. Don't get too attached to him. This takes things out. Frog form. This gives you power. This takes things out. And this helps you perform an additional action. But I think he's just too simple for my liking and just so easy to win unless someone is playing Ursula and fading, where most of his deck is in his fortune pile at that point. He's gonna win at that point. You might as well just call it a day and proceed. Jafar is a good competitor against him because your items, you'll always be playing items, and then you have all these allies built up to play Deception again, but that's just why he sits where he sits, because he's just too simplistic. But proceeding with simplistic, you have Queen of Hearts, is my next person. simplistic, good to go. But her fate deck, guys, if you look at her fate deck, moments, make it larger. If people fate enough, oh, this discards an ally, you are just screwed. Her fate deck just screws you. Because I've seen people fate so much with her that she has all her card guards sitting over at Courtyard. I don't like her. I think that she's fun to play if you're a first learner and people aren't going to fate you as much. But for the most part, she's too simple. Her fate deck is kind of bad. Like, I think she's fun to play. That's why she sits above Doctor. But for the most part, she really doesn't have very much to help her out. Yeah, you have the Tweedles, you have the King, you got a bunch of these high-cost cards. High cost. Well, that can... So, she has to successfully take a shot. And to do that, you have to flip over 5 cards, and the total of your allies need to be less than what your cards are. Or the cards that you flip over has to be less than what your strength is. But if you get, off with your head, Tweedle off with your head, makes you smaller, and maybe like a take a shot, yeah, you better hope you have a whole bunch of strength. Because then you're just like 3, 6, 10, 12, 15. You better hope you have more than 15 strength. Oh, and the Jafar's Deception, because you're going to be playing the spears to gain strength for your take a shot. And you're going to be playing the stopwatch to gain some power, because you have to pay 4 power to take a shot. I just think it's crazy. I wish Alice allowed you to still move allies and items. There should have been something better with that, but I don't know. I feel like she's too simple, is why she sits where she sits. So, next we have Prince John. So, Prince John sits at number 5. I think he is doable to win. I do think his fate deck is a little brutal. Especially if you have... Toby's just a pointless card to me. You have all these Steal from the Riches, Robin Hood, you have him out. If you have Maid Marian out, if you have Little John takes power, King Richard, you can't play effects to gain power or do anything. Clever Disguise, you have to pay power to take that off. And you got 3 of those. You got Alan O'Dale that buffs people up. But if you look, allies, item, ally. I love Sir Hiss. He's amazing. Effect, ally. He is very much doable item to win with his cards. He has all these allies to vanquish people off. He has items to bulk things up. He has condition cards that lets him play allies for free. But to gain power, he has these effects. To save allies, he has an effect. To move allies to vanquish, he has an effect. So if you have King Richard out, you better hope that he's somewhere where you can vanquish him right away and then play an effect card. Because, poof. That's all I gotta say. I think he's very equaled out. He's very doable to win based on his cards. I love the artwork on all the cards. The Sheriff is my favorite card in the entire deck of his. Very doable. I think he's very doable. He's easy to win, which is why he sits at number 5, because he's another easy character, I think. Yeah, a lot of people don't. It's a preference thing, definitely. Correction. Yeah, I think there should be more warrants. I think there should be a warrant for each location. I agree. So, he's actually number 4. Excuse me. He's number 4. So next on my lovely list, we have Ratigan. I like Ratigan. I think he's very fun to play. I love his flipping ability. I think he's overall very doable. You have a lot of things to reduce the cost of the Robot Queen since he has to get him all the way to Buckingham Palace. So many allies. I like him. I like his Fate deck. I think it's very doable to work around. For the most part, I think it's good. I like him. I like him very much. I think he is very suitable for people who want to learn and progress, but at the same time want a simplistic character. This is very simplistic. You don't get the Robot Queen all the way because Basil takes him. Well, I guess now you get to defeat Basil. Instant win. I think he's good. I like him. I like all of his cards. He's actually very nice. Sitting at number 2, we have Lady T. I love Lady T. I love that she can control her Fate deck with condition cards, with the invitation. She can trap heroes very quickly. She can move people very quickly. She can discard with condition cards, trap with condition cards. I just think she can reshuffle her deck into, so if she discards something she didn't need right away, you are great. So with Lady Tremaine, you have to get one of your ball gown ladies to marry the prince. And then ring the bells and call it a day. I think her Fate deck is, for the most part, very easy to work around, other than maybe Fairy Godmother and Ball Gown Cinderella. I just think she's just amazing in herself. She's very doable. She's easy to work with. I think she's just great. I like that. So I'm going to agree. I like that she has 3 condition cards versus 2. I think that in general, she's amazing. I like her in her movies. I like her in general. I like her as a character. She's just phenomenal. Hence why she sits at number 2. Sitting at number 1, and will probably always sit on number 1 in my heart, is Yzma. Yzma is great. I like her just based on her movies. Her Fate deck works differently. She actually gets 4 different Fate decks. And then if you choose to play a hero, say Bucky was here, you have to play him to the jungle. She has the superiority. I Love that. I love Smash It with the Hammer to get through your fate decks. Kronk is beautiful, man. Lots of allies. I just think she is just overall going to always be my favorite. She has lots of ways to find Kronk to be able to vanquish Cusco as soon as she can. She has ways to find Cusco to use Kronk to vanquish him. I think she's just great. Yes, you have these pesky children, but for the most part, you can kind of do what you need to do to work around them. I just really enjoy every moment of playing Yzma. She is really, really good. Hence why she sits at number 1. She is amazing. That's all I have to say about it. She really gets your brain working, but not so much that you are confused and frustrated. And overall, I think she's just great. That is why I have ranked her at number 1. I love that she's different. She's not like every other villain where she only has one fate deck and you pick 2 cards and there you go. You get to see everything in that fate deck. You search it, you look, you pick one. That's how that works. So that's why she's number 1. And that is why I have ranked my villains the way that I have, because she is overall just amazing. But hopefully you all either agree or don't disagree about my selections of how I've ranked them. I want to hear from you guys also how you rank them. Comment below how you think I should move things around. If I pointed out something that you think you disagree with, I want to hear your opinions also. So please, 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 please comment, share. This will also be going up on YouTube. So, yeah.